Science is an organized way of gathering and analyzing evidence about the natural world. One goal of science is to provide natural explanations for events in the natural world. Science also aims to use those explanations to understand patterns in nature and to make useful predictions about natural events. The heart of science is its scientific methodology. The first step is observing and asking questions. The second step is inferring and forming a hypothesis. Then it's designing controlled experiments. Then the next step is collecting and analyzing data, and finally drawing conclusions. All scientific investigations begin with observation, which is the act of noticing and describing events or processes in a careful, orderly way. Then comes inferring and forming a hypothesis, and an inference is a logical interpretation based on what scientists already know. A hypothesis is a scientific explanation for a set of observations that can be tested in ways that support or reject it. When designing a controlled experiment, you have an independent variable and a dependent variable as well as a control group. An independent variable is the variable that is deliberately changed. The dependent variable, it is the variable that is observed and that changes in response to the independent variable. A control group is exposed to the same conditions as the experimental group. Scientists make detailed records of experimental observations, gathering information called data. There are two main types of data, quantitative and qualitative. Scientists use experimental data as evidence to support, refute, or revise the hypothesis being tested, and to draw a valid conclusion. Good scientists share scientific attitudes or habits of mind that lead them to exploration and discovery. Curiosity, skepticism, open-mindedness, and creativity help scientists generate new ideas. Curiosity is a habit of human beings of forming questions of what we do not know. Good scientists are skeptics, which means that they question existing ideas and hypotheses, and they refuse to accept explanations without evidence. Scientists must remain open-minded, willing to accept different ideas that they might not agree with their hypothesis. And then we also have creativity, because they need creativity to design experiments that will yield to accurate data. Publishing peer-reviewed articles in scientific journals allows researchers to share ideas and to test and evaluate each other's work. In science, the word theory applies to a well-tested explanation that unifies a broad range of observations and hypotheses, and that enables scientists to make accurate predictions about new situations. And a way to understand nature is by the study of life, which is biology. Living things are based on a universal genetic code written in a molecule called DNA. This information is then passed to your offsprings through reproduction. Reproduction can be classified in two ways: sexual reproduction or asexual reproduction. Living things are also made up of cells, the smallest units considered fully alive. Every organism has a particular pattern of growth. Organisms detect and respond to stimuli from their environment. All organisms need to keep their internal environment relatively stable. This condition is called homeostasis. The combination of chemical reactions through which an organism builds up or breaks down materials is called metabolism. Finally, taken as a group, living things evolve. Biology also has different fields: global ecology, biotechnology, building the tree of life, ecology and evolution of infectious diseases, and genomics and molecular biology. Most scientists use the metric system when collecting data and performing experiments. The final aspect of science is safety. Scientists working in a laboratory or in the field are trained to use safe procedures when carrying out investigations.